Alzheimer's, depression, eating disorders, substance abuse disorders. These are all considered as mental health issues or mental health problems. So what is mental health? Hello, my name is Leo and I'll be informing you on mental health. What is mental health? Mental health is a person's condition with regards to their physiological and emotional well-being. So mental health can depend on a lot of things.
正面，他那边有拍。
Mental health issues can depend on a lot of things. But the three most important ones are, one, your culture. Why? Because your culture can influence the way you behave, what you believe, and even how you think. Two, your genetics. Genetics, because you could have personality disorders due to your DNA. You could also have anxiety disorders because of your DNA. Third most important reason is the way you think. Culture. You might be thinking how culture can influence your mental health. Well, culture can influence the way you think, the way you behave. One culture might think that global warming is fake. Some might think that global warming is true. If your culture thinks that global warming is fake, you might not be depressed about it. But if your culture knows that global warming is real, you could be depressed about global warming. Mental health. Your culture can also third, genetics, also known as DNA, can influence your mental health. It can give you anxiety disorders, personality disorders, etc. These are all mental health issues that have things to do with DNA. How or why, you ask? Well, you might be scared of a specific thing. For example, a spider, because of your DNA. Each person, or you might have a higher percentage of having seizures, which is a type of anxiety disorder. Whenever someone is born, they are born with a personality, but this personality can change over time due to who you hang out with, what you experience, and your education. Let's say you're born with a really bad personality. You're always stuck on your phone, you don't like to socialize, and you don't know how to socialize. In this case, you probably have a low EQ, which means you are not used to dealing with real life. You're not ready to deal with real life, and you probably have very few friends. Therefore, you could be depressed. Third, in China, there's a famous story. It's where there's this old man who has a female horse. But one day he loses the horse. Now, let's say back then, a horse is worth, let's say, a car. And now his friends come and say, it's okay, don't be too depressed. And the grandpa responds, losing a horse doesn't always have to be a bad thing. A few days later, the horse comes back along with a male horse. Now everyone comes and congratulates him. This time the grandpa says, getting a free horse doesn't always mean it's a good thing. Now his son really admires the horse and rides on it a lot. He falls off one day and breaks his leg. The grandpa's friend once again comes and says, it's okay. And his grandpa responds, this might not be a bad thing. Soon a war breaks, and all the young men go off and fight in the war. Many little survive, but his son didn't go because of that broken leg. The moral of the story is not to be too depressed about the bad things, and do not be too confident about the good things. Therefore, personality disorders, anxiety disorders can all be mental health because of your culture, the way you think, and your genetics. Thank you for listening.